Hey everyone, Kyle Sefcik here, your future governor of the state of Maryland. I'm here with Don Rondeau, someone very credible, has a lot of experience with things like smart policy, smart energy, smart health. I'm bringing him in today to speak because not just because he's somebody that I go to advice for in all types of things in life, just because of who he is and what he's done already, but also because he's the CEO and president of the Smart Cities Group. And he's going to be bringing a lot to what I bring when I'm the governor of Maryland. And it's very important that you guys see what kind of partnerships and friendships that I need to develop as a leader of Maryland so that we can have a better state and a better life for everyone. So Don, aside from the Smart Cities Group and what you've done with that, I know you've been the Homeland Security Executive of the Year. I also know that you were a Point of Light nominee honoree, which is given by the President of the United States. And also, you actually have drafted legislation that has been passed in the state of Maryland, which has now saved many children, which is a whole other thing that you've worked on in the past. So thank you for being here. Let's get right into it, Don. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself, and then we'll get started.
Oh, well, Kyle, thank you very much for that intro, and thank you for having me.
Sir.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about your campaign, and I really want the best for the citizens of the state of Maryland and beyond, of course. But Maryland is very special to me. It's my home. It's where I've raised my children. Yeah, you talked about some very important things. How to do things smarter is how I hear what you're saying. How to do things more intelligently. That's what we do at the Smart Cities Group.
Yes, sir.
We look at things from a smart policy perspective, smart health perspective. We have smart energy programs. We've worked in league with organizations, international organizations like the United Nations and a host of academic institutions, international professional services firms, and through those relationships and experiences, we have created a smart assessment. We can tell you how smart your municipality is, how efficient you are with a score, and then create the pathway for you to become more efficient. Here in the state of Maryland, I have been active in protecting missing children and played a pivotal role in crafting legislation that was signed into law, the Felicia Barnes Act, Felicia's Law, and that law that has been responsible for saving children in the state of Maryland has served as a kind of blueprint for other like efforts. A lot of great people involved in that, a lot of great Maryland organizations and politicians, but it's been fantastic to, continue to protect people and serve the community in a way that's really smart.
So Don, smart policy, smart energy, smart health, these are the things that you guys had a lot of experience in and are your expertise.
Yeah,
this is why you are connected to so many people internationally to give guidance on things and recommendations, right, and stuff like that. I'd like to jump right in. In the state of Maryland, this is the topic I'd like to talk with you about today.
Okay.
In the state of Maryland, I would like to get your viewpoints on what truly needs to be changed or kept the same in terms of our economy right now. I'm a small business owner, as you know, and I've seen firsthand, I mean, everybody has, but I've seen firsthand how things are getting very difficult for the small businesses in the state of Maryland.
Sure.
So I'd like to just hear what you have to say on that topic.
Sure. Well, these are almost unprecedented times. The COVID pandemic has placed a great deal of pressure on economies around the world.
Sure.
And our counsel to different governments and institutions has continued to be, let's make data-driven decisions, not political or emotional decisions.
Yes.
And so that's what we do. We look at the data, and the data we look at in terms of what's going to happen next, emerging threats, and we apply data sets from past experiences, past incidents around the world and say, well, these are the actions that we can take, these are the consequences of those actions, and this is what life will look like after that action, right? And so we arm our clients with the ability to make decisions armed with historical data from around the world. With respect to the pandemic, one of the things that we are really adamant about is making sure that our municipal clients, those nations, states, and local governments, understand the full spectrum of ramifications, the consequences associated with some of the lockdowns associated with the pandemic.
Right.
It's a very, very tough thing. Again, it's unprecedented in many respects, but there is data that suggest that the economic impact of the lockdowns has been unfairly borne on the back of small businesses.
Sir.
Now, I know that's not the plan of elected officials.
Correct.
These are people who are really focused on saving lives, but the consequence of lockdowns, and this has been happening around the world, so I'm not singling out Maryland, but it's been happening around the world to varying degrees, is that the economic engine of this country are your small businesses.
Right.
People don't understand that. They're really familiar with the major brands, the international marts, if you will, that dot our landscape, but it's really the small businesses that are responsible for most of our employment and our economy in this country. And when you shut those down, the impacts can last for a generation or longer. There are people, small business owner-operators, who may never recover from some of the financial devastation that's a pandemic and some of the lack of smart policy initiatives has reaped upon them. One of the things we like to do is, I'll give you an example.
Yes, sir.
In different states, potentially in Maryland as well, as a future governor, you'll be able to kind of understand the details of that, but there have been certain companies labeled essential. And during the lockdowns and shutdowns, these essential companies, many of them international, were able to continue to operate. While small businesses, who may not have had essential goods per se, were not allowed to continue to operate. Now, what's essential, what's not essential, we can debate that, but what I can say is that many counties and cities have business districts, and those districts are populated with small companies that individually may not meet the standard for essential,
Right.
but together as a business community, that collective district area, they are essential.
Right.
In fact, they're more essential than the international marts to that neighborhood,
Agreed.
to that community, because there has been a wealth transfer, inadvertent, but the net of some of the decisions made around the globe, and potentially here in the state of Maryland as well, is that there has been a wealth transfer out of the state, out of the bank accounts of small business owner operators in the state of Maryland, and into the coffers of international shareholder-driven companies.
Right.
That has been a drain, a transfer of wealth that is almost unprecedented. And again, not just for Maryland, but it's been something that is happening in varying degrees around the world.
Right.
And so one of the things we advise our clients when asked is we update response plans to include pandemic response plans with this type of data that allows them to understand the financial ramifications of these decisions and identify what businesses truly are essential. And how do we define essential? Because essential must include not putting people out of business forever.
Correct.
Not wreaking financial devastation on families.
Which is happening.
Well, it's a tough thing. It's happening around the world. Again, in the state of Maryland, I'm a Marylander, and I see the anecdotal signs of it, and I know it's been a lot of tough decision making. People want to save lives, but again, we're all about data-driven decisions, not emotional decisions, not political decisions. We understand that our elected officials have a very, very tough job. We like to make their job easier by providing them with the data to make non-emotional, pro-citizen decisions. We don't do it's a difficult environment to operate in. But at Smart Cities Group, we're not Republicans. Yeah. We're not Democrats. We really look to serve the citizens and those elected officials that feel the same way.
What I like about your group, because I've researched it a lot, is you're not politically driven and you're not money driven. And that is what I truly think needs to be where we make our decisions from. It's not politically driven or money driven. It's truly for the best interest of the people, and especially in the state of Maryland where we focus on the most. That's what needs to be happening right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We certainly understand the value of making money, but what we prioritize is outcomes of the individual citizen. You talked a little bit about my Homeland Security background. That's what drove me into Homeland Security, redefining it so that the person, not just the building, not just the critical infrastructure, that he or she is protected. Secure first in your home, Homeland Security. With the missing children, the same thing. It's all about making sure that the individual is able to be safe and secure. And as we look at how to best do that, we have continued to make governments smarter by drawing out the appropriate data that supports the ability to make sound, solid decisions and that impact generations.
Instead of the generations being negatively impacted, which we know is coming even just from the past 2 years, we can start turning that around right now if we really start putting things together.
There's some anecdotal evidence and some hard science that suggests that, internationally we could have made some different decisions, less fear-based, less emotional, and less, frankly, political decisions. Right. We understand that whenever you have sides, we're making a mistake. There should be one side in saving the economy, one side in health, and we have to accept the fact that there is no one size fit all option. Right. And so that's what we're about. We're really about coming up with these solutions, letting data, hard science drive those decision-making processes from a politically neutral perspective. And so, yes, right now there are things that we could do to recover the economy in Maryland and beyond. It starts with making sure that we are supporting our small businesses, restart that small business job-generating engine that the small business community is here and every place else.
Yes, sir.
And then, we're in a global economy, a just-in-time global economy, but solid economies are tilted towards self-sustainment, especially during a crisis. They're able to self-sustain, right? And so Maryland is really unique. It's really a great thing, a blessing even to live here, because Maryland has a strong agricultural base.
Yes.
Maryland has a port, a world-renowned port that's been here for many years. Maryland has different economies, politically based economies driven from the government, port economies, resort economies, all in one state. Beach economies, right? It's really, those kind of resort economies presents a unique opportunity to be able to look at the data and map our way back into prosperity starting with small businesses.
Sir. Once again, you guys, Don Rondeau, CEO, president of the Smart Cities Group, truly doing things not just locally. You are homegrown here, right, from Maryland. That's why we've known each other through the years. I've just been following everything he's been doing. And this is one man that has truly made a difference in so many lives, not just the children he's helped, but the adults. You know what I'm saying? And he's truly looking to do more of that. Please look into more of Don Rondeau and what he is trying to do for our community. It's somebody that I will be partnered with as governor of Maryland, somebody that I do take a lot of advice from, and just in my personal life alone. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate you, speaking with us today. And I know you're busy. I know you got to go. But is there anything else you'd like to share? I know you could talk about all other types of things, which we'll have you for another time for sure. But is there anything else based on small businesses, the economy here in Maryland, you might want to share before we get out of here?
Well, I will only just say that it's really important for all of our elected leaders that as we seek to protect people from a virus and that we seek to address political concerns, that we make data-driven decisions.
Sir.
Data now and how that data will play out in the future.
Cool. Thank you so much, you guys. Kyle Sefcik, Don Rondeau. See you.